What is up, YouTube? This is Alex with SG1 Sports, and you are watching our Big Ten College Football channel. Today, I'll be talking about our top 5 non-quarterbacks in the whole Big Ten Conference. You know, it really was hard to break this whole list down to 5 players, but I did it for y'all so you guys don't have to search and try to find something like this. And I already also did a video breaking down the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten. If you haven't watched that yet, it's not going anywhere. And you can also actually watch it right after this video if you want. Hint, hint. Alright, today we are talking about the best 5 players who don't play quarterback and some honorable mentions to begin the video. Without any further ado, let's make like a hockey stick and get this the puck on. Honorable mention number 1, Cooper DeJuan. Last season, he lined up opposite of the first white defensive back to get drafted in quite some time, Riley Moss. This led to Cooper seeing a ton of action last year, and he actually did a great job all season long, only allowing 51.4% of passes coming his way to be completed. He also had 5 interceptions to go along with his low completion percentage. His 5 interceptions were good enough for 11th in the whole nation. I look for him to be more of a force this year on Iowa's defense. They will rely on him a lot heavier with the departure of Riley Moss. Get used to the name DeJuan. He will be a force on Sundays after this season. Honorable mention number 2, Omulawa Fashanu. I won't lie, I probably butchered man's name, and if so, I do apologize on that. Fashanu is a menace on the O-line though. He very well could have been the first round pick in the last draft, but he decided to return to Penn State for one more season. He will be blocking for Drew Aller this year. Aller will definitely be thankful seeing how Fashanu didn't give up a single sack last season. If he can continue his success he had last year, Penn State will be ultra competitive this year, and he will be getting a fat check as a first round pick in 2024. Alright, our actual list starts now. Woo! Number 5, Braylon Allen, Wisconsin. Since he stepped onto campus in Madison, all Allen has done is rack up 1,200 plus yards both seasons and a total of 23 touchdowns. He's teaming up with Mordecai this season, and they hope to lead a bounce-back year for the Badgers. This offense has the potential to be sneaky good if Allen can get anywhere near his career average of 6 yards a carry. This Badgers rushing attack will be terrifying. Now, he is playing in an air raid scheme. A lot of people are doubting that he'll be used correctly. I could honestly see the playbook really opening up for the junior running back this year. Expect him to be used a little bit more in the passing game than in before years, but still expect huge things from him this year. Number 4, Tommy Eichenberg. He is the heart and soul of this much improved Ohio State defense, a true leader on and off the field. He looks to improve on an outstanding 2022 season. He had 120 tackles last year, 12 for a loss, and 1 interception. If he can be on par with his production from last year, this Ohio State defense will be flat out scary. I actually see him improving on his 23 pressures from last year. While that was by no means a bad number, I just see him really focusing on disrupting the play this year. That's what Ohio State's gonna ask from him the most. And if he can do that, Ohio State will once again be Big Ten champions after Michigan won it last year. Number 3, Jerzon Newton, Illinois. Newton generated pressure just about as much as anybody in the country. The one knock on his game, however, is he doesn't always convert those pressures into sacks, having 59 pressures and only 5.5 sacks last year. If he can focus more on bringing the quarterback to the turf, he will be one of the first defensive players drafted next year. Look for Illinois overall to have a shaky season, but their defense led by Newton will be one of the best in the whole country.
True.
Number 2, Blake Corum, Michigan. One of the few names on the Heisman watch list that isn't a quarterback this year. He was the epitome of what it meant to be dominant before he had a late season injury last season. He missed most of the last 3 games, but still managed to have 1,463 yards and 18 touchdowns on 5.9 yards per carry. He was also ranked 9th in the nation in forced missed tackles last year with 73. This year, he will be huge in Michigan's hopeful postseason success. Without him having a big year, I really don't see the Wolverines making any noise in the playoffs. And if he does live up to the hype this year, the sky really is the limit for this Michigan offense. I bet you guys can guess who number 1 is.
Who?
Number 1, Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State University. There's some names in college football that everybody should know, like Caleb Williams. Then there's the name that everybody does know, Marvin Harrison Jr. Picking right up where his pops left off, he is an absolute stud. He almost led the Buckeyes to an upset of defending national champions Georgia in the playoffs last year. If it wasn't for a last-second missed field goal, Ohio State would probably be the national champions right now. I feel like they would have just ran straight through TCU, just like Georgia did. But that was last season. This season, Harrison looks to be even more dominant, which admittedly will be somewhat hard. How are you going to outdo a 1,263-yard, 14-touchdown season? That's the question Marvin will try to answer for us this season. I look for him to be a top 10 pick and really change an NFL team in this upcoming NFL draft. True generational talent at wide receiver. These have been my top 5 non-quarterbacks in the whole Big Ten Conference. I'm sure I did leave some people off this list though, so let me know down below who I left off. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button for brand new SG1 Sports content daily.